Hello everyone, I'm John Butera. This is the Tuesday Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our pilot issue, our pilot show. I'm very happy to finally be here with Madhousetv and Ustream.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great series, hopefully. I'm really looking forward to bringing you the best entertainment we can. You're going to see comedians and actors and a slew of different type of entertainment. Like I said, we're going to have the best guests we can. We have a great one for you today. We're going to have comics and actors and politicians and people who are just very important in society. A little background on myself. Again, I said my name is John Butera. A little bit about my family. I am married. I have two beautiful kids, my daughter Angelica and my son John. I went to school at St. Anthony's High School and St. John's University. I started off my career as a broadcaster. I was the play-by-play announcer for St. John's University, working at WSJU. I then went on to WFAN, where I did some work there. After I was at WFAN, I went and took the music role, and I was the morning show personality, Mongo John, with WRCN 103.9. WRCN, like I said, classic rock. From there, I went on to do a slew of other things, owning a pizzeria, one of them. I was the owner of Aragona's Pizzeria. It was in Miller Place. From there, my comedy career started. I started doing comedy shows just to help out my business. And then right after that, we went into producing more shows and more shows, started doing shows in the city. Thank you to Sheba Mason, who helped me with that big start, and Al Martin as well. Go now to current day. I perform a few times a month. I produce a lot of shows as well. And basically, this is going to be a fun show for me. Hopefully it's a fun show for you guys. We're going to be here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. My upcoming shows that I have coming this week are going to be this Saturday. I have two shows at the Atlantic City Comedy Club, down in Atlantic City, obviously, on the Caesars Pier. I'm going to be with Craig Lloydgren, the Tasmanian Devil of Comedy. He's going to be fantastic, so I can't wait for that. And then the following day, on November 6th, we're going to have a benefit show for Madhousetv own Joe Giannino. That's going to be at the Clarion Hotel on Sunday, November 6th. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, what I'm hoping for this show is to bring you entertainment and fun early on a Tuesday. Yesterday was Halloween, correct? Everyone knows yesterday was Halloween, today being November 1st. And it was a fun day, but I noticed on the streets, there weren't as many kids out. There weren't as many kids walking around in costumes and things like that. And there weren't people, even at their houses, giving away candy. I think it's crazy. One of my good friends, Mike Egan, had mentioned that there were no eggs on the floor, no shaving cream, no eggs on houses, no toilet paper in trees. We're getting a little soft, America. That's what I think. I think we're getting a little soft. I think we got to, maybe we can have another Halloween come up soon and just do it the right way. Throw eggs at cars, bomb people with shaving cream and stuff like that. Do it the right way. That's what I think. I think we got to do it the right way. And of course, as we all know, next week, a week from today, it's the election. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea where this country's going. I know nobody else does either. And I guess we could pretty much admit that we're screwed no matter what direction we go in. We have now Hillary with all the emails coming back out. We have no idea where that's going. We have Trump, who was the human jack-o'-lantern yesterday for Halloween. Orange face and the hair and everything. He was all set, ready to go. Didn't even need a costume. So that's where we are with the election. Next week, we'll have a little bit more focused on that. Talk about things that are in the news. Of course, we have the World Series. Tonight is going to be Game 6, which I'm very much interested in. We have two clubs who haven't won their championship since the Cubs in 1908, the Cleveland Indians 1948. The Indians are up 3-2 going to a Game 6 tonight. It's going to be Arrieta versus Tomlin. It's going to be a fun matchup. I'm pulling for the Indians. I know a lot of America wants to see the Cubs win. I don't care. If Back to the Future was on target like it was last year, maybe I would have pulled for the Cubs. But they were wrong. Dr. Brown didn't know what he was talking about. High Valley thing went down. Doesn't matter anymore. That's what I think. We do have some new sports starting up. We have the start of the NHL and NBA seasons. The NHL, I'm a Ranger fan. Not that matters at all, but the NHL season's starting up. That's going to be fun for all you guys who watch. And now for me, I'm a big basketball fan. I'm a huge Knicks fan. Hasn't really worked out that well for me in the last few years. But to be honest with you, I think this year is going to be a good year for the Knicks. And since we're talking a little bit about the NBA, let's go into Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian. Lamar Odom, an ex-NBA basketball player, went a little crazy, married a Kardashian. I guess that already proves the point that he might be a little crazy. But last week, I don't know if you guys heard what happened in their court case. They're obviously going through a divorce. And Lamar Odom, it was a little strange, I guess you could say. He was asked a question by one of the attorneys, and this is a true story. I'm not making it up. True story, he was asked by one of the attorneys, what was it about Khloe, or what is it about Khloe that you don't like about her, or that makes you, maybe wants to go through with the divorce? What is it that you don't want to be together anymore? And Lamar's exact quote was, her vagina smells like earring backs. Now, I don't know what you think about that statement. It's one of the grossest things that I can imagine. And it's almost like he had to have like that predetermined thought, because earring backs doesn't pop off the tongue. It's not like in your everyday verbal, your vernacular. It's not like you say the word hello or thank you or you're welcome or earring backs. He had to have that stored up there somewhere. That's just my thought. Now, something that might have helped him, I know I think he's got a kid or two, probably doesn't even know about him. Anyway, they have male birth control. Obviously, there's the condoms, but they have a new one. It's an injection. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but male birth control, there's estrogen in it, and the people who developed it never said that. And I think it's sort of ironic, a little silly, but it's been giving men a lot of mood swings and having them cry and expose them of all their inner deepest secrets. And it's just sort of crazy that they have this birth control. It's an injection that men have to do day after day. And it makes them weep. And it makes them cry. I have a better birth control. It's called pulling out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my opening monologue. We're going to be back in just a few minutes with our guest, Mr. Jack Cloonan. Be back.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin. Galaxy.
And we're back here, the Tuesday Talk with John Butera. I'm your host, John Butera. And it's only fitting that this gentleman is to be our first guest here with the Tuesday Talk. He was my first guest when I had my radio show at Long Island News Radio. He is my first guest here. One of the brightest new comedians on the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest, Mr. Jack Cloonan. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show, John.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. We go back to your first days in comedy.
Before I was even a comedian.
Before you were even a comic, exactly. For the people out there who don't know the story, I met Jack's brother at a bank.
Yes,
and
that's right.
I was talking with his brother Chris about myself being a stand-up comedian. He had mentioned to me that he had a brother who always wanted to do stand-up and be in stand-up comedy, but he was never able to be healthy enough to go through with it, to start it even. So I told him I would work with him and all that stuff, and lo and behold, that was you.
Yep.
Yes, and now your brother, ironically, is down in Cuba.
That's right.
He's no longer working at the bank. Shout out to Chris. But now, Jack, this was last July.
July, that's right. The bagel store.
We did a show. It was a new comic contest.
In a bagel store. I remember that. Like, it's so funny. People ask me, "Oh, what comedy club did you start in?" Strathmore Bagel. That's what
right,
comedy
on
club.
25A.
That's right.
It was a novel idea, I thought, that I had to start up and do a best new comic contest. And I knew Jack was going to be interested, and I had another friend, Jack, who was interested, and two other comedians. So I said, let's do a contest.
Yeah, that's probably had like, what, 4 or 5?
There were 4 comics.
And then you had like a couple like actual
Right, and Kyle Kratzky joined me and helped me out, as well did Sarah Quinn.
Yes, that's right.
Right, so that was fun. They were judges with me, and Jack was definitely our unanimous winner. We fit 70 people in a little bagel store in the middle of Setauket, which was it was fun, cramped, and a little awkward.
A little bit.
But going in in less than a year from that day, you had already gone all the way into the city and started doing shows at Broadway. You started doing shows at Gotham and Caroline's.
Yeah.
Now you've been at Comic Strip Live.
Yeah, that's a fun place. Yeah.
It's crazy. You know, you go from bagel store to the city at Caroline's.
Yeah, my third show. Well, you had me doing this show at Broadway in September. I remember it was like September 30th. And then you were like, oh, come with me to check out the club. And so I went with you. And then I think it was like, Steve, hey, like, oh, you want to do my show like next week? Sure.
Yep.
So
that's
how that happened.
pretty much how it was. I think the first day that you came to see me perform was at the Clarion Hotel.
Yeah, it was the Clarion.
And I think it was the 2015
it was some
Long Island Comic Contest.
Yeah, it was a contest. I forget what it was called exactly, but yeah.
Not to boast, but I did win. But yeah, that was the first time you got to see me. And then from there, obviously you got to see me a lot because we did a bunch of shows together. Jack's first real show was at the Centereach Elks Lodge.
Elks Lodge.
And that was an amazing show. We had well over 100 people in the audience.
I think that's still my biggest crowd so far.
Your first crowd, your biggest crowd.
I think I've come close. That was like, what, like 150, 120?
It was like 115, I think we had there.
I've come close, but I was like...
Nothing like throwing you right into the fire.
Yeah,
but that was a great show. Stevie GB actually headlined that show.
Yeah, Stevie.
Yep. So that was fun. Now, let's go into a little bit about actually performing and stuff like that. Where is your favorite venue, now that you've worked at 20 clubs or so, where is your favorite venue to perform?
Right now, the Comic Strip is a lot of fun. I love it there.
Yeah.
It's fun. it's a cool atmosphere. Everybody's talking. You know, I know the staff by now. We just got a little group going, so that's a lot of fun.
That's great.
And there's only like one stage, so it's pretty like enclosed. Like what's the word? I don't know.
Is it intimate? It's right.
Yeah,
like
that's the
around
word.
it?
It's intimate because there's only like Broadway has the 2 stages. The strip
Right.
just has the one, and it's more intimate with the crowd, and it's easy to get into.
Yeah, that's a great stage, great great history, and that's
Yeah.
in New York City when you perform and you do shows in the city, you'll see that there's a lot of history in all these different
And
places.
a lot for people who haven't been to club, especially in the city. There's a lot. You got all the pictures of everybody who's performed
Right.
in like every club, and then you always have like the wall of people, and the strip is just like covered. It's crazy. It's almost intimidating sometimes when you first
Right.
walk in there, but it's so much fun.
I know Dangerfield's for me, because of all the history in the building, is probably my favorite stage in all of comedy. A special place in my heart is the main stage down at Broadway, because that was the first stage I ever headlined. But the stage at Dangerfield's for me, just because of all the aura and all, just you feel comedy when you're on the stage at Dangerfield's. That's just great. I know my first show at Dangerfield's, you were actually with me.
That was your very first one?
That was the first one I
was the
did.
first one?
And Chuck Nice was on the show, who's, no pun intended, a nice guy. I was the vanilla chip in that chocolate dream.
Yes, I remember that. That was hilarious.
The entire show had an all black cast,
It was like
except for myself.
It was like an ice cream sandwich because you were right in the middle, like the white guy right in the middle.
Yeah, it was,
funny.
but it was great. It was a very fun show.
That was a fun
There was
show.
a great audience. I mean, there was probably about 100 or so people there, and I loved it. It was just, I finished my set. I got off stage. I just had so much adrenaline. It felt awesome. Where do you think you did your best performance? I know, obviously, you always want to feel like you did your best performance, but everyone knows that one time that they did their best job.
That's a good question. I know I had my first one at the Strip was really fun. I liked that one. The one time, a couple times, I felt like the second time I did Gotham might have been my best. Probably a tie between when I did Gotham the second time and my first time at the Strip. So
I think my best set I ever did was probably either my second one at Dangerfield's or possibly the night that you saw me the first time when I won that the Gateway Comedy Award thing, whatever it was, in 2015. I think that was probably, I guess because I was so hyped, I wanted to win that
yeah,
so bad. I felt like I had to perform my best because you were going to be there for the first time, and here I am trying to be your mentor and help you in the comedy world. And I'm like, if I suck, this is going to be bad. So I think that night really was probably my best.
That was a fun night. And then I'll never forget, I was laughing because you were telling me about the bagel that night after the show. You were telling me about the bagel store.
Right.
And then you were like, there's going to be this kid on there named Kyle who had a brain tumor. Just letting you know, I don't know if you've been in hospitals or anything before. Just he had a brain tumor, so, And then I was like, yeah, I've been in hospitals before.
Right.
That was fun.
Now, beautiful segue. Putting aside what you're going to learn now about Jack, in case you don't already know, you've done amazing things in the comedy world, and just it'll be 2 years soon, right?
It's just,
It was
hit 1 year.
Yeah, you just hit 1 year in July. Well, really August.
August, yeah.
August 22nd, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
But this has nothing to do with the fact that your comedy has done fantastic. You've done all of this after many challenges and battles.
Yes.
In the early part of your life. I mean, you're only 23 now, but you've gone through tremendous challenges in the early part of your life.
It's funny, like people see me doing comedy now, like when I meet people, and then like they have no. I've been in the I'll just go through the whole thing. All right,
go ahead.
How much time we got? No, no. When I was a baby, I had born with a bad liver. I had liver transplant, and then I rejected that first liver, and then I ended up having 3 liver transplants by the time I was 2, and then nothing too major after that. A little in and out of the hospital, and then I graduated high school at 18. 2 months later, I had this I was like wheezing, And then I had asthma as a kid. I thought it was my asthma, and I had these weird bumps on my head. So I went to the doctor. He took an X-ray, and then I had a mass in my chest.
Right.
That was wrapping around my airways, and I went to. He's like, you gotta get to the ER like now. And so I went to the ER, and they did a biopsy, and then it turns out I had leukemia. So then I was treated for that. I got chemo. For 25 months. Like once a week, and then I had radiation. And the chemo combined with all the stuff from the transplant destroyed my bones, so I needed a hip replacement, a knee replacement. These are dentures. I have hearing aids too. They're not on.
What?
But, exactly. Huh? Yeah. Those are the highlights anyway.
That's the highlight.
Well, that's the thing. I lost track after a while.
You can get that all in book and pamphlet form if you want. Just ask Jack, he'll send it to you. But yeah, so it's I don't want to make this sound mushy and whatever, but it's a fantastic story that you're even here with us.
Yes.
But the fact that you're able to do what you are in the comedy world is just that much more impressive. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back in a little while. This is the Tuesday Talk with John Butera. See you in a couple minutes.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hogshair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly used in Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
And we're back here on the Tuesday Talk with John Butera. Again, I'm your host, John Butera. And we're being joined by the very funny Mr. Jack Cloonan. In case you're just joining us, Jack is a stand-up comedian, as well am I. And Jack has been doing comedy now a little over a year. and you have really jumped on the scene. You've really taken the Long Island and New York City comedy world by storm, which is a phenomenal thing. And I'm very proud of you for everything you do.
Oh, thank you.
But let's go outside of the comedy world just for a little while. And why don't you talk about other things that you're doing in your personal life?
My personal life.
Not to get too personal,
Not
but
to
you know
get
what I
too
mean.
personal, but your personal life. Okay.
Like what you're doing as far as how you want to give back to everybody with, with all the ailments that you've had.
Oh, that
way,
was, yeah. Well, I like doing a lot of charity work and stuff like I do. Like I joined Live On New York, an organ donation organization, try to increase the amount of donors and raise awareness.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So actually now, because I did the enrollment day where we at a table and trying to get, we got a few people, but they had the stack of registration forms.
Right.
And I was like, oh, can I? So sometimes people, every once in a while, somebody asks me. So I took like, they gave me like 1 million of them. So I just, at my shows, like, how in my shows, remember, think about becoming an organ donor. And now I say, if you want to become one, talk to me after the show. And sometimes I get some people.
Oh, that's great.
So I just hand them the form and, oh, cool, yeah, I'll fill it out. So, and I try to be like, I said, oh, if you just fill it out, I'll even mail it in for you. And then, oh, cool. Yeah, but so I gotten a couple people to sign up that way. Because people don't realize you could save, you don't have to do anything, and you can save 8 people, up to 8 people.
Right.
By donating. And, obviously very important cause to me. And
right.
So I do stuff, I try to do some cancer things too, but whatever.
But you've also have passed the test recently to become an EMT.
Oh, yes. I got certified as an EMT. And then actually, I just had my physical a week ago yesterday. I remember because I was supposed to host your show. And then I was like, oh, crap. I thought it was in the morning, but it was at night. And then it was right at the Hicksville Fire Department, which is where I tried to get to train. But everything was going well in the physical. And then I was like, oh, I might actually be able to make it. And then they asked me the magical question, have you ever had any hospitalizations or surgeries?
And it took you a week to fill out the form.
Yes, I just got back. I didn't go home. I sleep. I just came straight from the fire department to be on the show today.
Nice, perfect timing.
That's what happened. Yeah, just made it.
Now, as far as like your comedy, getting back to your comedy, what do you aspire to do? Like, what is it? Where do you want ultimately? Now, again, you've only been doing it a little over a year. You have 1,000 different avenues that comedy can take you. But what is it like if you look into your dream world of
my dream
comedy,
world?
Where do you hope to be and end up when you've reached the pinnacle of your comedy career? What do you hope that is?
The pinnacle of my well, way down the road there. Okay. No, I mean obviously the main goal, probably like so many other comedians, like HBO or Showtime, and have a special. I would always dream to doing the Garden,
Madison
Square Garden.
I think we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably like be my biggest thing.
Yeah, I just watched one of the old Dane Cook videos of when he was at the Garden, and he's walking around that circle stage in the center, and I'm like, wow, 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And of course he killed it like he always does. And I remember seeing that, I'm like, could you imagine just for a moment being him and walking in a circle and just seeing all those people at Madison Square Garden, knowing that you're at Madison Square Garden, looking up at the rafters and seeing, the jerseys of the Knicks and the Rangers, which are two of my favorite sports teams. And I was just like, holy cow, like, this is crazy. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I can't even, like, when I see some comics doing, like, a local theater, like, for, like, 2,000. I'm like, oh, that must be amazing.
Yeah.
2,000.
Yeah, like, I'm looking forward to hopefully soon performing, like, for me, my local theater would be Theater 3 in Port Jeff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I grew up at Port Jeff Station. And
we actually grew up, like, not that far from
we only grew up basically, like, 5 minutes away from each other. But, yeah, I would love to perform at Theater 3. That'd be pretty cool for me. There's also the Performing Arts Studio down there. I know you were originally going to have a show there with Stevie GB, correct? Were you supposed to be in a show, Stevie?
No.
I know Stevie was going to have a show there.
I know he had one there.
Yeah. But like I said, it's a lot of fun to do comedy.
Yes.
What do you think is the coolest thing you've done to date? that has to do with comedy? Was it a show, maybe an appearance or something like that? Like, what was the coolest thing that you've done?
Today?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only like a year. Even this kind of stuff is cool, being on these kind of shows.
That's what I was hoping he was going to say.
Yeah.
But no.
He didn't tell me to say that. But
no, not at all. I didn't give him any money and nothing, wink, wink. But no, like for me, one of the coolest things I've done, you were actually at one of them, was when we did an outdoor show for the fire department down in Bellport with Frank Macri.
Oh, that
was pretty cool. We were
fun.
outside. It was a little unique, and we were doing a show, and the people were like 50 plus feet away from us.
They were kind of.
And it was freezing.
They were pretty hammered.
Yeah, they were drunk, definitely. And we're standing on a stage, and we're performing to these people, and like, at sometimes 10 people were paying attention, at sometimes 50 people were paying attention. And sometimes
and they're like the kids running like in
kids
between,
running around in circles
like,
in front of us.
in front of the stage.
And we had to be clean, which for you was not that difficult. For me was.
That's why I was on the show.
It was atrocity, because I was like, "Oh my God, like I can't curse," and I'm standing up there and I did my best. 32 seconds.
Yeah, I know that's about.
But
I thought that was a stretch for you.
Yeah,
with clean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they heard the opening monologue, so.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. You had that opening monologue, and then right to the clean comic. There we go.
There we go. I think the other the coolest thing I did was at a place called The Bench in Stony Brook.
Oh, Stony Brook, yeah.
I did a show for Leukemia Lymphoma Society where I did a half-hour clean comedy. And that was, that was a tough one. But I bit the bullet and I did it. Enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. But, that was a bit of a struggle. But now you tend to lend yourself to not being a dirty comic, which is good. That'll help you get more shows and things like that, and it'll work better for you. Is it that you prefer not to curse, or is that easier for you?
You know, it was kind of weird. I don't really know how because I wanted to be a comedian for so long, but I never was like, oh, I'm gonna be a clean comic. I'm never gonna curse. Like I've written jokes with curses in, like most of my early jokes had, but then I got on stage and then I don't know, like what made me be clean. Then I realized if I'm clean, I can perform in more places. So
right, exactly.
That's why I did it, and that's why I still do. And it's you don't have to curse. Like you don't have to.
And I've realized that more so recently. I still do like adult innuendo in my set, and I still, it's not really for like kindergartners, but I don't curse as much anymore, and you really don't have to. You'll get a lot more venues. Like, do I think that I'm ever going to perform at Samantha's? Yeah. Probably not. But that's a venue that you've performed at a lot.
Yeah, a couple times, and even I have to take out a few jokes there.
Yeah.
That's really cool, but that's a fun place.
The latex joke wouldn't work pretty well. Wouldn't work there.
Yeah, I had to take it out, but that's a very fun place.
Right.
Great crowd.
Now you were doing a show, I noticed, at the Longwood Public Library.
Yes, the library with Stevie. We did it in June, and then he asked me to open for him again. That will be this Sunday at 2:00 at the Longwood Library.
That's great.
For free. Yeah, it was funny because, well, as you know, my mom works there.
Right, the professional shusher.
Yes, the professional shusher, the librarian. That's how I forgot I even heard that joke. Remember? And then, so she actually booked him in June, and then we did the radio show with you, Stevie, and I, and then I was like, Stevie, come on.
Put me on the show.
Everybody at the library is asking me, come on. And he was like, I was going to ask you anyway, go ahead. And then like 2 weeks ago, and because he double-checked with my mom, because the library is kind of weird. Like, you can't work there if your parents work there. Like, only one person in the family can work there at a time. So he's like, is it cool if he opens again? And then he's like, Mom's like, yeah. And then he asked me, do you want to open? I was like, yep, sure.
That's pretty cool.
So
I've actually been looking into my public library to do like a comedy seminar, which is a little different than the show, of course, but I've been looking into that, and they're like, no thanks. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
I don't know, what library are you?
I'm actually part of two libraries. I'm part of the M.S. Clark Library in Setauket and the Comstock Public Library in Port Jeff Station on Terryville Road.
Okay.
Because I have like 2 addresses, Port Jeff Station and Setauket. But as I mentioned earlier, that I went to St. Anthony's High School. Now, with you, with going to high school, you were at Longwood, correct?
Longwood, that's right.
Just jumping back here. Were you able to go through high school with?
I had 1 full year.
Okay.
And then I had like a quarter
Right.
here and there. And then I was home tutored most of the time.
Right. Okay.
With the tutors.
Now, are you doing any schooling now?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I did graduate high school, so.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
He's
probably
23.
gonna-
He graduated.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back to college soon.
Excellent.
I wanted to get in the fire department first and figure it out from there.
I think it's very, very admirable that, with all that you've been through, that you're looking to help out people now on the other end. People would say you want to pay it forward, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job of that. Like you already mentioned that you, it's called Live On.
Live On New York, yeah.
Live On New York, you work with them. You always post up, your Donate Life things on Facebook. EMT, you want to be a member of the fire department. I think that's all very...
And I don't know if you, thank you. I don't know if I told you yet, I'm trying to be a motivational speaker too.
Yes, and actually a very good friend of yours
Ed?
that I've become good friends with is 1986 world champion with the New York Mets, Ed Hearn. You met him at a young age, correct?
Yeah, I was like this tall. I'll never forget. And you met him, he's huge.
He's like 6'4".
And he's like a giant. He's like so nice. And we met him at the Hall of Fame weekend. He was selling this book. And long story short, my dad's flipping through the book. He sees something about transplants, so he talks to him. And then he's like, oh, my son had transplant. He's like, oh, bring him over. And then there's like Hall of Fame weekend, tens of thousands of people. We're like comparing scars on the sidewalk. And then we've been like best friends ever since. And like he ended up having cancer and a hip replacement and stuff too. Right. And like now when we hang out, he introduces me. It's like, oh, this is my friend Jack. He's me, just younger. But it's funny.
Yeah, Ed's a great guy. He actually came to one of our shows that we did at the Setauket Pastoria.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
On 347. And
yeah,
that was a fun show.
Yeah, and he's been a motivational speaker, so I always figured I'd kind of follow his footsteps. So.
Yeah, that night he actually did a little bit of material, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bringing you up on stage, so I enjoyed that. I got to try on his ring, which was amazing. That's like a dream come true for me. As I mentioned, I'm a huge Mets fan, and I got to wear the '86 championship ring, so that was pretty cool. But we not just yet, but in a little while, we're going to go to a video of you, which is going to be fun. But before we do that, I would like if you could let everybody know if they're interested in seeing you, where they could possibly do that. I know you already mentioned you have the show Sunday, but any other shows you have coming up, and maybe like social media ways they can see you.
Sunday, I have the show Sunday at the library, and I post all my stuff on Facebook, and my name is Jack Cloonan, Cloonan, on Facebook, so friend me, and you'll see where all my upcoming shows and events are and things like that. And I put some clips up sometimes too, so it's a lot of fun. And so that's where you can pretty much find info.
And you have videos up on YouTube as well?
Yes, I have a few. Oh, this reminds me. If you search me on YouTube, you have to type in Jack Cloonan Comedy, because there's Jack Cloonan FBI agent. So if you type in Jack Cloonan, you get Jack Cloonan Interrogation, Jack Cloonan Torture. You got to type in comedy, and then you'll see my videos. So that's how that works.
I have a similar situation, as you know. If you go onto YouTube to look up anything for myself, you could possibly either get like a 14-year-old boy from Oklahoma who writes love songs to women who will never be with him. You might get a musician. You might get Rachel Butera, who's actually a comedian as well. She was on America's Got Talent. So make sure you put John Butera Comedy or John Butera Comedian.
That's funny.
Because you're going to get a myriad of other things if you look me up. Yeah, I remember when I was first doing YouTube and I put in John Butera, and I just to see if anything about my name, and this little kid comes up playing a guitar. He's like, "Oh, I loved you, and you never looked at me." And I'm like, The hell is this?
You know, I could see you doing that too. I
Yeah.
could see you doing
It was
that.
actually me younger.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
Yeah, so now, besides the show this Sunday, do you have anything else coming up as far as performances?
Not really.
Okay. We'll work on that. We'll get you a couple more shows.
Yeah. Well, like I probably do. I just can't think of them at the moment.
Now, I asked you where your favorite place to perform is. Have you ever done that one really bad show? Has there ever been an appearance that you
Haven't
did?
we all had like really
Yeah,
bad?
of course. But now, I don't know if you want to say the venue, but do you remember that one really bad show you've had where just the crowd wasn't laughing maybe, or you just felt like you were in like a different world?
Well, we did that one, I think with you, and it's like the free one at the place in Middle Island or something.
Oh, yes.
And then there was like 3 people at the bar.
And they were talking.
Yeah, they were like backs turned to us. We were trying to do jokes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was, I'll say, because we're going to be doing another show there coming up soon. It's going to be a much better show. It's going to be advertised a lot better. That was MC's on Middle Country Road.
Oh, that was the place, yeah.
In Coram, yeah, or Middle Island. Yeah, we're gonna do another show there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're in the Coram, Middle Island area, go down to MC's. They have great karaoke. We're gonna bring great comedy there. I feel like Donald Trump. We're gonna make it great again. We're gonna make, but that's for next week. Now, going real quick into this, I'm not asking whether you're voting for Hillary or Donald because we're screwed either way. But have you voted yet in a presidential election? Because I know you're 23, so you really only had one other chance.
I think so. I don't know. I had so much like.
True.
Going on.
So now.
I was probably in the middle of treatment.
Right.
So I don't know. I forget if I got in or not. I honestly don't remember.
Now, do you know who you're voting for?
This year?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think a lot of Americans are on the fence still, and it's crazy because I voted in probably 5 or 6 presidential elections, and I don't remember a time where I was uncertain of who I was voting for. But it's still to this point, and I'm like, he's done this, she's done that. He didn't do this, and she did a lot of that. And it's like it's sort of chaotic and a little crazy. But what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to go ahead and watch some footage of Jack. I believe this was at the comic strip.
Yes,
live?
this was in August at the comic strip. This was a cancer fundraiser to benefit the family of somebody who had cancer at the world famous comic strip live.
Here we go.
Personalities, and we also have members of the Children's Brain Tumor Foundation who are also comedians. The next comedian that I'm bringing to the stage not only is a cancer survivor, but he also, in the year that he started doing stand-up, he's only doing a year, he's won like more comedy contests between here and Jersey, Long Island, and the city. He's one of the funniest bastards I know, and he's here tonight. Please give it up for Jack Cloonan, everybody. Jack Cloonan.
Thank you guys for having me. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time now. I haven't yet been healthy enough to do it though. Like I said, I just finished battling cancer, along with chemo and all the side effects that go with it. So I'm very excited to share with you guys a dream that I've had for a while now. No, not my dream of performing comedy, my dream of finally being able to do this. Oh yeah. I went on Amazon to buy a denture page, and underneath it said, customers who bought this also bought a reverse mortgage. Really? Amazon? Only forget. But here's something they don't tell you as a guy with dentures. You gotta leave them in the shade. I went to shave without my teeth in one time. My face kept sinking in, it didn't work. You're welcome for that image in your head. And I did that joke in front of a crowd of old people once. They loved it. I was like, this is great. I feel like I'm performing for my people. But here's another denture mistake I made. I got a dog recently too, but I accidentally trained him without my teeth in. So now, if I want him to sit down, I gotta go, sit down, sit, boy, sit, boy. So annoying. Because the thing is, I can't eat with my dentures, so sometimes it's just more comfortable to leave them out. And one time one of my friends asked me, if you can't eat with your dentures, then why do you wear dentures? I said, let me answer that question by asking you this. Why do blind people wear sunglasses? It just looked better. And actually, I was walking that same dog I was talking about the other day to take him to the bathroom. And it hit me. I was wondering, you know, when transgender dogs go to the bathroom, hold on. Do they have to sniff out the patch of grass that they identify with? How does that work? I don't know. But actually, aside from cancer and all that other stuff, I'm also a very proud recipient of 3 liver transplants. Not all at the same time. But the thing is, whenever I tell people I've had 3 liver transplants, they automatically assume I started drinking at like age 6. Because I mean, 1 liver transplant, people are like, okay, he was born with something. 2 liver transplants, people are like, all right, he had a complication. But after 3, people are like, I'm calling Dr. Phil. And you know, I was driving my car the other day, and I was thinking, as a transplant patient, with part of somebody else already inside me, shouldn't I be allowed to drive in the HOV lane by myself? It would help. It would help. Not gonna lie. But another thing that happens when you've had all the illnesses that I've had is you get a chance to come in contact with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, everybody knows they're a wonderful foundation, do a lot of great things. Only, I will say though, it doesn't matter how old you are, Make-A-Wish doesn't do hookers. I tried, I think. It seemed like it was more fun than Disneyland, so you know, it was worth a shot. But it's cool. I'm healthy now, and I like helping people. So actually just became an EMT, which is cool. And yeah, no, don't feel all safe. I haven't started yet. So if you have a heart attack right now, you're probably gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. Because I got an 85 on my certification test, but isn't bad, right? Isn't bad, but there's still a 15% chance I could show up to your house and be like, sorry, bro. I got nothing. Call somebody else. But I'll leave you guys with this. When life throws you hardships, you can either laugh or cry. And trust me, laughing's a whole lot more fun. Remember to think about becoming an organ donor. It really works. Thank you. You've been very well.
back again here, the Tuesday Talk with John Butera. I'm your host, John Butera, and this again is our guest here, Mr. Jack Cloonan. Right before the break, you guys got to see a little clip, a little bit of Jack doing his thing at the Comic Strip Live. That was a great set. I've actually seen it 3-4 times already.
Oh.
Now, you had mentioned that that's one of your favorite places to perform.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do a show there with Sean Lynch, who I know gave me the opportunity to perform there the first time, and I was unable to make it that time. But I'm looking forward to perform there.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Oh, never mind. I think that clip. I don't know. Sean's a great. I love Sean. I think sometimes he confuses me with Kyle because he introduced. He had a brain tumor and he's in the. I didn't have a brain tumor, so he just confuses me with Kyle. But I love Sean. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Sean is awesome.
So if you're watching the clip and you're like, wait, he didn't mention the brain tumor before when he was going, it's because I didn't have it.
That was sort of made up.
Yeah.
Actually, Sean Lynch is coming out on Black Friday. He's doing a show with me at Farrell's Tavern on Ronkonkoma Avenue in Ronkonkoma on the day after Thanksgiving. That's going to be a fun show.
Oh, cool.
I have Nicole Edmonds on that show. She'll be hosting. Nicole LaMonaco, TJ Garofalo. There's a whole bunch of comedians. That's going to be a real fun show.
Yeah, it's like a great lineup.
And looking forward to that. This was our first show. I'm really happy that it's almost, here in the books. And
yeah, I know. You got the suit on and everything.
I got the suit on.
I feel underdressed.
I'm trying to look dapper.
Dapper.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
But I've had fun. I really appreciate you being here with me on the first show.
It's been a fun day.
And I want to let you guys know, and this is my little thing here. If you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy, if you ever thought about being a performer by any way, contact me. You could do that through Facebook at John Butera. You could either to my personal page or go to John Butera Comedian. Message me if you ever wanted to do stand-up comedy. I love to work with new comedians. If you ever want to look to possibly do a fundraiser, Aragona's Comedy, which is my organization, my company, we do fundraisers for whether it's for someone who has an illness. We just did a show this past weekend for a woman who is diagnosed with MS to raise money for her and her family. We're doing a charity show coming up for drug prevention for the Mount Sinai and Comstock High Schools. Whatever it is, whatever organization you may be part of, Cub Scouts or PAL or whatever it is, and you want to raise money for some organization, please contact me again at John Butera Comedian, or you can email me at therealjohnbutera@gmail.com. Again, I want to thank you all so much for joining us here on the first ever episode of the Tuesday Talk with John Butera. I want to thank again our guest, Jack Cloonan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, buddy,
Thanks
for coming
for having
out
me.
and being on the first show.
Thanks for watching. I'd like to just encourage everybody to become an organ donor because it really works. Here's the proof right here. And when life throws you hardships, you can either laugh or cry. And trust me, laughing is a whole lot more fun. And I just want to give a quick shout out to any of my transplant friends watching. You guys are awesome. All right, back to you.
So again, thank you guys so much. Tuesday Talk. I'm John Butera. We'll be back here next week, 11 a.m. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.